Luke Abbott is the owner of AllClean Power Wash, Western New York's most trusted full-service exterior cleaning company. Luke was forced into starting AllClean back in 2019, in his words, by not having much of a choice and needing to make money. He also recently launched a second company, Voyage Roofing, and is rapidly expanding across upstate New York. Luke's goal is to keep growing and creating careers and opportunities for others and to continue serving his customers and coworkers at the highest level. Luke, thank you for being here, brother.
Appreciate it. That was quite the intro. You couldn't have said it better.
Well, you wrote it, so I just read it. Let's jump right into it, man. So take us back to wherever you want to start in your journey of entrepreneurship. I know we just started talking a little off camera, but wherever it starts for you.
Yeah, so like I was telling you a little bit was I didn't have a choice. I did have a choice, but I'll tell you why. Before I became an entrepreneur and started building businesses, I was working for other people throughout my entire 20s. I'm 38 now, but throughout my 20s, I was working for other people, and I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I had no idea what an entrepreneur really was. I just knew that I wasn't doing what I was designed to do. I knew that there was something out there. I just couldn't find it yet until I was about, into my later 20s. I made a bad financial decision where I switched careers. I cashed out my 401k from my one job at the time, used that money to pay off a little bit of debt I had. So then I was like clean slate, debt free. A year later, I was on vacation with my family, and my accountant called me, and she said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Well, I can be." So it was just like I knew what was coming. She said, "Well, when you took out that money, you got hit with penalties. It threw you into a higher tax bracket. You owe 15 grand. I'm like, "Well, I didn't have 15 grand laying around." It was a lot of money to me back then. It still is a good amount of money. So I've never felt this feeling in my life where I completely failed. I made the wrong decision. And I just kept thinking about my family. I had a 7-month-old son on that vacation. I had a 4-year-old daughter. They were out there on the beach playing, and I was like sick to my stomach, wondering what the hell I'm going to do. So that was what happened. That's where my gears changed.
Yep.
I got home, went back to work to my day job, working as a garbage man.
Is that what your day job was?
It was my day job at the time, working for the city of Canandaigua. It's a great job, right? It has the state benefits to it. If you stay in long enough, you'll get like the retirement, health, good pay at the time.
It's really funny. Side note, I told my parents when I was younger that my dream job was to be a garbage man.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
But.
I actually just, so I just replaced the roof on my old garbage partner's house last week, and I stopped by when they were running the garbage route right by his house. I was able to throw some more stuff in.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Did
I miss being able to check out once in a while.
Yeah.
But anyways, so when I got home and I started working my day job, I couldn't stop thinking about how the hell am I going to pay this money back? So there's a couple things people can do in life when they're faced with their back against the wall. They can either fight and make a difference and keep moving forward, or you can lay down and die. Mm-hmm. There's only two things you can do. Mm-hmm. So I chose to fight. I was figuring out ways to extend my payments. And it was like a month and a half in 2017, about June, I saw a pressure washer sitting in my garage. And I was like, I wonder if I can leverage that to start making money on the side.
I love
to
this.
pay this debt.
Yep.
That right there is what pushed me in the direction of just making side money.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became an addiction.
Sitting there in your garage just waiting to make money with me. Yeah.
It was literally dusty.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you had no idea what the path was going to be. If you hadn't, were you exploring other business avenues at the time, or did you just fall into that?
I wasn't, man. I was completely, when I say I was lost, I was lost. I was working the job, picking garbage. And I'll tell you what, man, even though I was lost, I still considered myself one of the best garbage pickers. I would go out there and just kill it. I was the guy taking cans back for people. I always turned everything into a competition. I always wanted to be the best, right? It wasn't what I wanted to do per se, but I always wanted to be the best at whatever I did. again, I didn't really understand entrepreneurship. When I started washing on the side to make money back, I didn't even know what marketing was. Like, I knew people like were in marketing, but I had no freaking clue what it actually meant.
Yeah.
So like, that's where my wife's friend came into play. Sam is her name. She built my first flyer, and I used that, and I just posted it all over social media.
Yeah.
Was handing it out like door to door.
This was 2019.
This was 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, how quickly you can learn everything.
And so is that how kind of traction started going for you? You just started handing out flyers, social media, just telling everyone what you're doing now? Like,
yeah, because I've realized after, these years that that's just how I'm designed, is like when I do something, I really go like,
you're all in.
I'm all in, and I'm like psychotic about it. When I started and I was washing and I was getting paid by my first couple jobs, that's when like the light bulb went off, and I saw something there, and then I became just addicted to making people happy. Like the before and after of the wash, it was instant gratification, and then payment at the end with a happy smile on their face. I was like, this is like, where can you get this? It was filling every cup up that I had in me. And that's ultimately what I couldn't give it up. I was just hooked.
I'm smiling because I felt the same exact way about my business so I started with, I don't know if you know these, but 3D virtual tours. When you're looking at homes on Zillow and stuff, you can so that's how the business started. That's where the name 3D comes from. It started as a little side hustle, and after I did a couple, same thing. I got addicted. I'm like, if I can do a couple of these, I can do a lot more of them. Started growing. It grew into doing photos and then videos and then drone stuff. And all of a sudden I'm a media company. But that same point about, I just loved making customers and clients feel happy. Like I talked about this on the recent podcast I was on, like customer service is so ingrained in me for whatever reason. Like that is my superpower in business. And I think that if you have that skill as a younger entrepreneur starting out, and you can just make everyone happy. It really doesn't matter how good your work has to be good, right? It doesn't have to be exceptional. You just have to be good enough at what you're doing, and then make people like you and treat them like gold. So, and it sounds like that's what you did.
Like you said, the customer service is at like the core of it, right? I mean, what'd you do growing up? Like, did you?
I went to school for engineering actually. So I did a complete 180. I was just following in the footsteps of my dad. He was an engineer, so I'm like, this must be the path. Got into college. Halfway through, I'm like, this fucking sucks, man. I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And graduated college and got a corporate job with Wegmans, and survived 5 months at my job. And then I said, I'm done. I didn't know this was going to be what I was going to do, but I'm like, I'll figure something out. Anything can be better than sitting in this cubicle right now.
Right.
So I know we have limited time here, but I want to pull as much value out of that brain of yours as possible for the people watching.
Yeah. Let's see what we can extract.
Let's start with, just give our audience real quick, for anyone who's not familiar with like a power washing business. What does AllClean do at its core? What are your services?
We're a soft washing exterior cleaning company. So anything from vinyl exterior house washing to asphalt roof cleaning, metal roof cleaning. We clean everything from a trailer all the way up to large buildings. I mean, we're throwing a quote in right now for the new era cap.
Nice.
Like the 5950 hats.
Yeah.
Like MLB.
No
issue
way.
Hats. So we're working on buildings. Hopefully we win that bid. But
they're out in Buffalo, right?
They're out in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yep. Their global headquarters.
Yep.
We cleaned the Thompson Hospital last year in Canandaigua. So we're working on some very large scale projects now. But we clean everything from small to large, like I said, and we're doing outside of the washing services. We'll hang Christmas lights, so temporary lights, the ones that you can pop up and down. We do permanent lighting as well, so that's something you keep up all year round on your home. You can control it with an app, like any occasion, like birthdays, Valentine's Day. You can change the color, whatever you want. So
basically anything to make the exterior of your house look awesome.
Yeah,
That's what you guys do.
Cosmetically, I mean, I like to make things look nice, and I think a lot of people do like to make things look nice at their home. And when you hire AllClean, you're going to get the best, really. ultimately.
Love that.
Yeah.
Clip that. That's an ad for you guys right there. You said you're cool about talking about like revenue and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
You've been able to grow past that 7-figure mark. What is your, so kind of two questions here. What does your current team look like? Like how many people you have working for you? And what do you think was the key to scaling to $1 million plus business in a pretty short amount of time?
Yeah. So I really haven't truthfully even added up the amount of team members we have this year, but I'll just run through what we're structured like now. So me, owner, CEO, I have Jake, my operations manager. Steve is a production manager for us. Stacy is an office manager. We have a dispatcher, Leslie, a CSR, Pam. We have 2 outside sales representatives, and we have a shop manager. Outside of that admin kind of bubble, we have 13 technicians and 4 sand and seal technicians.
Wow.
So I don't know. I didn't add it
Probably
up. It's like close to 30.
30-ish.
now.
Yeah.
Back in 2020, going into 2021, when we broke that 7-figure mark, truthfully, it's just having the right people on the team. And if we go back to 2018, before I even hired my first employee in 2019, I said I would never hire anybody.
Really?
And here we are. Like, it's just wild how the world works.
Yeah.
I learned early on to never say never because things change. It was my first employee that I hired, Jonathan, that truly turned me on to, wow, this is real. This is doable, and I don't need to do everything. And once that happened and I accepted that and understood it, I got out of my own way throughout the entire process. Every time I hit a pain point where I was struggling on the admin side, okay, well, it's time for someone to take over admin because, for one, I don't like doing it.
Yep.
And 2, someone can do it better than me. It'll just be that much smoother. So anytime I came to a department or a level, I call it the graduation steps. It was just like, okay, where do I need to take myself out of now to get to the point where I'm now, where I can focus on culture, vision, recruitment, and overseeing the numbers from a higher level.
Yep.
It's where I want to be.
I love it, man. And to your point, when that clicks in your head the first time you hire someone or have someone working for you, and you realize, wow, like this is what leverage is, like having someone do the work while you're still working but doing other things. Where did Jonathan, where did you find him? Was he just in your network of people?
No, I didn't know him at all. I walked into the YMCA. It's a gym in Canandaigua.
Yep.
And it was the winter of 2018. And I had somebody helping me and mentoring me on the side a little bit back then. And he was like, hey, man, like, you're going to need to start hiring people if you're going to scale up and be able to handle the workflow that's about to come your way. I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
So then I walk into the gym, and the first guy I see this day, after literally talking to this guy on the phone, my mentor at the time, like, hey, you're going to have to start hiring and looking for people. I walk into the gym that day, and he's the first person I saw. Tall, handsome guy, long hair, looked like Tarzan.
Really?
He's built, great smile, super friendly. And I was like, huh. And I didn't ask him right then and there, but as we kept seeing each other throughout that week, I just said to him, I said, what do you think about possibly coming and washing houses this summer?
Wow.
And he says, sure. What's the pay? I said, $18 an hour. And he says, great. I'm making $11.25 now. I'm like, perfect. So brought him in, and he's working while I'm working my day job. I'm like, damn, this is awesome, right?
Yep.
And then I got out of work, and I was still doing some jobs and running sales and whatnot. He was loving it. I was loving it that he was loving it, and that was filling my cup too. That I was giving him a better job,
Opportunity,
better opportunity. I worked side by side with him. You know what I mean? And he was an absolute stud. There's not many people built like him. We have people in the organization that are like him now, but at the time, he set the standard for every other person that came into that company. I'm telling you, when it was the right place, the right time, the right person.
Serendipity, man.
Yeah. 100%, dude. It was
Is he still with you?
no. So he gave us four years, and he had some life changes that ultimately pushed him in the direction of going to the Coast Guard. So he's really pursuing some high level achievements in there right now. He's going to be like a rescue diver, and he's going to get it, man.
Respect, man. Good for him.
Absolutely, yeah. He wants to go make a difference.
That's awesome. It's crazy because when you're starting out and you have to hire that first person, it can seem like such a daunting task. I know it was for me. And I actually ended up hiring my brother as my first employee. So I always tell people it's better to get someone on board that you just trust or like, in your case, like just gave good energy and you had a good gut feeling about it. You don't have to worry about skills at all. Like anything can be trained. Like find the right people, train them how to do the thing.
100%.
Would you agree? Yeah.
Yeah, it's mindset. It comes a lot to their own personal traits that they have, the drive, their own self-motivation and discipline. If they have all those things, I can teach them whatever we need to do, craft.
That's it. The craft, yep.
And that's when we're interviewing people, I don't talk so much about, hey, how much experience do you have, man? Like how many houses have you washed? I try to figure out who they are at their core.
Yep.
Like,
me too, man.
What do you like to do outside of work? And if they're like at the gym and they're marathon runners or they're like high achievers in hobbies and other things outside of their life, I mean,
do you even look at resumes?
I don't. I really don't. Like, okay, I take that back. I look at like their job history and like how long they've been at places.
That matters. Yep. If they're jumping around a lot or something.
But if it depends. Like if I have a sales position and someone, I guess puts an inquiry in and they have like they've been a nanny their whole life.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna.
Might not be the best fit.
It might not be.
But who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a young, hungry entrepreneur wants to start a power washing business like Luke. What is your number one piece of advice to that person just starting out? If you could go back in time and tell yourself something when you were starting.
Be ready to make mistakes. A lot of them. And don't drown in them. You make a mistake, and if there's a problem that you cause, possibly with a customer, run towards the problem. Don't run away from the problem. A lot of our success, a lot of my own success is, at the end of the day, I'm a people pleaser. It doesn't matter.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, you get it. And I would rather a customer be happy with me. And I can, if a customer's not happy with the service I provide with them at all, I don't want your money. Like, I would rather just walk away friends. And so like I'm going a little off track.
No, that's a great point. You're willing to put almost like your ego and pride aside.
Yeah.
To make the customer happy. I know at least that's the case for me.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing that you bring up ego. Like everybody does, I think, start out with a level of ego.
Sure.
And you almost have to check it multiple times throughout.
Every day.
Yeah, you do. I know you asked like, what kind of advice would I give?
Yeah. So like, I talk about getting your first 5 clients as like, those first 5 clients, if you can get them and you can make them super happy, they're going to do the work for you and refer you to your next 50 clients. So like, how was it the marketing flyers, the social media that got those first 5 for you?
Yeah, 100%. Like everything I was doing was free advertisement back then. I was just utilizing my own Facebook circle, the neighborhood pages, boots on the ground, just door knocking. That's how it started. But that like brings up a good point is like if anybody is an aspiring entrepreneur and anyone to get into pressure washing or something like pressure washing is you better figure out how to market, advertise yourself and learn sales, the psychology of sales. And you're going to you keep your customer service on point and you take care of people. Like
you're good,
answer
man.
the phone.
Yeah. Answer the phone.
Yeah. If there's a problem and a customer emails or calls you, like call them back. It's just, it really
simple.
comes back to basic stuff.
Simple stuff. It really is. Yeah. What's the best tip you got on sales? Because sales is something that I have gotten better at. It's not my strong suit. Carter on our team is a savage at sales, and he's taking that over, and we're seeing the effects of it, of me like kind of just focusing on marketing and vision and that kind of stuff. What have you learned about sales? Were you naturally good at it? Did you get better at it? What do you got?
I have learned more about sales and like the actual psychology of it a lot more over the last year than I did the first few years. The success I had in sales and meeting people was just showing up and not necessarily selling them anything.
That's it.
I showed up to people's homes and I truly just wanted to get to know them. I wanted to build a relationship with them. So I just did it the other day. I show up to people's houses. I talk to them about almost anything but what I'm there for. I figure out who they are, what they like. I do bring up certain things as we're walking around the home or inside the home or whatever we're there to inspect. But I'm also making it very light. I'm getting them. I'm taking my mask off or my cape off and just kind of showing them who I am and how, just being a real person. People want to do work with people they like and trust, and that is what I'm there for most, is for them to get them to know who I am, like me for who I am, and trust me because I'm going to take care of you at the end of the day, no matter what.
Yeah. If they feel that, it doesn't matter how good someone is at sales that doesn't give them that same feeling, they're going to pick you every day because Luke made me feel good and he actually listened to me, and 100%, man. I love it.
Lasting impression. You know, and another thing too is like, I know you made a comment about my arms on the way up here, but I like to work out. I like to take care of myself. And I believe that, and not that I believe, I know it works. When I show up to people's homes, they trust me. They look at me as like I take care of myself.
I was just going to say that. Yep.
If he takes care of himself as well as he does, he's going to take care of me. I feel protected, like he's going to be the one. I had a guy call me back. This was like 4 years ago. And I remember being on the estimate and him kind of like looking at my arms occasionally. And I'm just like, oh God, where's this? I know he's going to talk about it, but he never did. I gave him my bid and I didn't hear from him till like a day or two later. And he was getting multiple bids like most people do. He called me back and said, oh, you know, the other companies, I didn't really, let's just put it this way. I looked at you and I just saw that you take care of yourself, and you just seemed like the type of guy I want to do business with. And I'm like, it just kind of like solidified everything that I already thought and knew.
100%. Yeah. I instantly trust people more who are fit, and like they don't have to be jacked like you,
right? But
if they're fit and they're healthy and they take care of themselves, instantly you're like up here when I'm on the trust level.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody, right? Like,
sure,
there's still people that don't go to the gym but
you can still take care of yourself.
Yeah, they take care of themselves.
Yeah. Can you flex for the camera real quick?
Oh my God,
dude, give us a.
I hate to. I don't. Oh my God.
I'm gonna guess. So have you measured your arms, or you haven't?
I have not.
You're at least. You at least have 22-inch arms.
No, they're not. They're not even close. When I was like 20 years old, early 20s, when I had a pump, I think they were like 19 and a half. And they haven't grown much since. So
okay.
I don't think.
All right.
I don't think we're pushing deuces, man.
Whatever, man. Anyways, let's go back to. So I'm all about learning skills as an entrepreneur. I think you learn the skills. It doesn't matter where you come from, how old you are, what your gender is, what your race is. You learn the skills to be a successful entrepreneur, and you're going to become successful. That's just how it does. You do the work. Mm-hmm. And I think one skill that I've just kind of observing you from afar, what you're posting on social media, I think leadership is one that seems to come natural to you. Mm-hmm. What have you learned about leadership, and what separates the great leaders from just the average ones?
I have thought about this quite often, and I've never actually like thought of myself as being a leader, right? And I guess you kind of nailed it. Like it has come natural to me, as most people say, because I'm hearing from my colleagues like, you know, you're an amazing leader. You know, I look up to you. You're an inspiration. it's great hearing that. At the same time, I'm still always trying to sharpen my own axe. I truly believe great leaders don't know everything. I don't know everything. I'll be the first one to admit it. Like, I really rely on my team. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. But at the same time, a leader also shouldn't be afraid to walk into the fire too, right? Like, I've told my team years ago, like, I'll be the first one to lead, the platoon into the storm if there's a shit fire.
I fucking love that.
Yeah. Dude, I will. I'll be the first one to walk in and die
in the trenches. Yep.
100%.
Yep. And I think when your team feels that energy, man, they just trust you that much more, and that's who they want to be led by. No one wants someone in an ivory tower, right? Who's just watching, telling everyone what to do. Like, that's the type of leader I want to be too. I want to be in there with the boys. I want to be fighting. I want to be going through what they're going through. This is how I'm wired.
It comes down to like walking the walk and not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
Going back to like the working out and the gym regimen, I do a lot of these things I do now. I have certain whys for it. Like, part of my why of working out and staying in shape is so that I can be a role model to some of these guys or girls coming into the organization. We have a lot more people that are interested in the gym now because I go to the gym every morning. I cold plunge in the morning every morning. Yes. I go to the gym. I'm ready to go by 8 in the morning. Show up, spend the day with the team, and I hope it is inspiring people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do my thing, and I just hope that people also kind of
100%.
Absorb it and implement it too.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm of the same mindset. I got my entire team memberships to Elevate Fitness, and they all love it, dude. Shout out to Nick Mancuso, by the way. He's building the best gym in Rochester right now.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I feel like I know
he's
that
a
name.
Dog, man.
Yeah.
You guys would get along real well. Actually, I would like to see who's stronger between the two of you.
Man, you're really putting on you're really putting me on a pedestal today.
Where do you work out?
Legacy Gym in Canandaigua.
Legacy?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's they opened up 2 years ago. Jenny is IFBB pro now. She got a pro card.
Yeah.
Badass, super awesome girl, and she's engaged to a fellow named Dave. He's a veteran, awesome dude. They just have a hardcore gym, and it's going on 2 years now. It's convenience for me too.
Yeah.
It's like 8 minutes down the road from my house.
Yep.
I used to go to gyms kind of here, there, and everywhere. Now my life has to just be built in a way where it's like
convenience,
like the time management, right?
100%. Yep. Elevate's right across the street, so it's literally we could walk here.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it's great. But yeah, man, I think going back to just when you take care of yourself and your body, and everyone around you is doing the same thing, your business is gonna just be on fire, like, because you're mentally just that much sharper, and you can feel the difference when you feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, like the way everything is now, has how it's evolved, and going back to like 2017, 2018, and 19, I wasn't going to the gym. I was all in at building this thing, and I lived so out of balance back then. I went from like 220 pounds down to like $190, just in a matter of like a few months, just because I wasn't working out, I wasn't eating like I was.
Yep.
I was just grinding.
Yep.
The day job and the side hustle.
Yep. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the type that loses weight when you stop working out?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know some people gain weight, but I'm the opposite. Like I was just telling you, with all the gut stuff going on, like I'm just trying to maintain some muscle right now.
Yeah.
Like, but we'll get through
Just
it.
naturally fast metabolism, like
Yeah.
ectomorph body styles.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. How important is social media and content and video marketing to your business?
I should be asking you that question.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
Oh, dude, I mean, ever since I first started and I started learning about marketing and advertising, I was always in my mind, I'm like, how can I get more people to see me? What is everybody doing?
Social media.
Social media, Facebook, Instagram. I don't do a lot of TikTok. that's in its own bucket, right? But organically, Facebook and Instagram, and then you can add like the ads and all that to it. But I guess, I mean, what else should I dive into? I mean, it's so crucial.
I just wanted to hear that how important it is, because it is. Like I just like to ask people that question to kind of lob it up there. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's like a perfect circle, right? Like when you're scaling a company and you need a high volume of leads coming in.
Yep.
Facebook and Instagram, it's huge, right? And then you have TV and you have Google and yard signs and billboards. So like everything plays into like the perfect storm. I mean, it's a lot of brand play. And obviously you have the ads so that you can have like a more of a call to action type of, marketing form of it. But yeah, to answer your question, it's if you're not doing social media,
What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's where the attention is. That's what it comes down to. Like whether it's social media, whether it evolves into something with AI, who knows what it is.
Right.
But if you are marketing yourself or your services in the place where there's the most attention, you're always going to win and get more business. That's just how it works. Today's channels are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that. So, I mean, for us personally, our Instagram is an asset that is like no other. We have about 27,000 followers now on our Instagram.
That's
and
awesome,
the
man.
craziest thing is, man, that most of those people are local. Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse people.
And that's what you want.
That's what we want. We're a local service business. One piece of content has pretty much allowed us to grow that big. And I don't know if you've seen it on our page, but it's what X dollars gets you in Rochester, New York. And it's just videos of the houses we're shooting.
I have seen those.
And everybody likes to watch those. As soon as you see, what $1 million gets you in Rochester, you're sharing it with all your friends. I mean,
it sucks me in. Like if I'm scrolling, it got me.
Hundreds of thousands, some have millions of views. And here's what I want to emphasize. When something is working for you on social media, do it over and over and over. Don't try new stuff. If something's working, squeeze the juice out of it. And that, by accident, I made a reel one day that just had that caption on there. It got like 1 million views. I'm like, boys, now we posted probably hundreds of those videos, and we're going to continue to until it stops working.
Yep. I'm sure you saw our shirtless ad, right?
I haven't.
You haven't seen that?
No, I don't really scroll too much, dude.
You might be the first one that hasn't seen it.
Okay, I got to watch it right after this.
Yeah, so it's
Is it you shirtless?
so me and like 3 other technicians at the time. So we ran a commercial, shot it out in front of my house. And it's like 4 of us shirtless guys washing the front of my house, and there's like slow motion clips. The one Johnny with Tarzan, he like slung his hair back.
I love it.
And then at the end, we have like a little bit out of a shape guy walk out of the house. He says, "Oh, look like my wife called AllClean again." You know, to add like a little funny kind of kick to it.
Dude, I love that. Yeah.
It came out perfect, and the amount of people that talk about that commercial and the branding that does alone, the amount, like in the last 2 years, we've had maybe 5 people actually call us up and say how disgraceful it was. But the hundreds of other people that call up and say that was amazing.
That was the best thing I've ever
They're not
watched.
even calling us to buy anything. They're just calling us to tell us like how awesome the commercial was. I mean, I just left a meeting right before here for a property management team. They have, hundreds of units and they want us to start washing them. I said, well, I asked everybody this. I'm like, where'd you guys hear about us? Because we saw your shirtless commercial on last night and I decided I wanted to call you. A lot of men call us that are married that will just, my wife's going to love having you guys out
Yeah,
here.
there it is.
You know what I mean? It's just, it works.
That's amazing, dude. So you're running that on TV, and
We are running it on TV right now.
Are you running it on social media too?
We repost it every so often.
Dude, put some ad spend behind that on social.
We haven't ran any ad spend on it in a while.
Do it, dude.
It's starting to get hot, so we should run it
Did you
again.
think of this idea, this concept?
I did. Yeah. So it's like one of the other things I love a lot about business is being able to be creative and think about like different scenarios and what will people like
Yep.
to see, what's going to snatch them in or pull them in and remember us.
Yep.
It's all about being memorable.
Yep.
So
I love that, man. Well, I'm going to watch that as soon as we're done here
did
because
you see the flamethrower one? The helicopter?
you would be so surprised at how little I consume. It's
all right.
actually like
You're probably so busy editing your own stuff and running your own.
not even that, dude. When I have free time, I just don't do it. I just walk and think.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do.
Check out. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally just like to turn my brain off and hang with my wife and just hang with family. Like, this is a whole nother point, but I think we're constantly bombarded by information these days and unplugging from it, especially in a business that I'm in where like attention is everything.
Right.
I need that time to, when I'm not like posting and like actually creating stuff. I mean, I'll consume podcasts and stuff, but in terms of like TV, I don't watch TV at all. I mean,
No.
I don't, my wife will watch like Netflix stuff and I'll sometimes watch that. But other than that, I'm not watching anything. I don't know if you're similar.
Nah, I don't watch anything besides like in the winter. Like if we have time at night, we'll start watching a series.
Yeah.
But it's usually like dead of winter, when nothing really is going
When it's
on.
slow and
Business isn't very mentally taxing at that time, so
Yep.
that's the time.
Gotcha. All right. I want to
What else
go.
you got for me?
Dude, I got so much here. How's this so far? Is this?
It's great. I love it, man.
I love. I just, dude. I talk to so many cool people. Like, I just have a blast doing this.
And we've never met each other yet, so like,
No.
I don't know if you've probably brought people on that you've had like prior relationships
I have.
with.
Most actually, I haven't met though, which
Oh,
is
really?
cool. This is how I meet
Yeah.
people because I'm very introverted too. So this is way easier than going to a networking event and like going up to someone and it's like, no, just come on my podcast and we'll chop it up for an hour.
Yeah.
That's how I like to roll.
It's like your safe space too.
It is. Yeah.
You're comfortable here. I
Yep.
get it, man.
Yep. What I like to do is kind of divide up the show into like tactical stuff, which we kind of already dove into, and then more like mindset. That's the stuff I really like to talk about. As an entrepreneur, shit can be hard, man. Very hard. How do you navigate the adversity? How do you develop a strong, resilient mind? I know working out, cold plunging, I'm sure that plays a part in it. Like, what are the daily habits and stuff you do in your life to keep yourself centered and optimal?
Really, it's every morning I'm cold plunging and I'm hitting the gym. Truthfully, that's really all I do for myself to get my day going, and then I'm good. And then I honestly love the challenges of work in the day-to-day, the operations, watching the numbers, and work to me is also therapeutic. I don't mind the stress of it. I have learned about myself that I have a very high tolerance to stress. I don't know really, like, there's been a lot that's happened over the last few years in business, and I've gone through some of the toughest moments that I thought, and we come out on the other end. It's just, you got to be able to handle stress if you're going to build a business. That truly is what a lot of successful business owners have the same quality of. And then the discipline, motivation. I don't know if you ever heard this, but like motivation it's bullshit, right? It's the discipline that keeps you there in the trenches, working every day, even when shit goes bad. Motivation just gets you there. Motivation it doesn't last. It's only the spark that gets the flame going, and then you got to keep tendering it.
Same thing with like willpower. Willpower is kind of bullshit too, because you can only have so much willpower, but it's the habits and the routines that get you through when you can do that on autopilot when stressful times come around versus just trying to white knuckle through everything. Yeah. You can only do that for so long unless you're like David Goggins or something.
Yeah. The guy's just calloused mentally, physically.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of business owners' stress comes from doing the things that they're not doing. And I was there. There was certain things early on that I was just putting off. I was procrastinating. And I talked to so many business owners still that come to me a year later with the same problems they were facing a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm 1,000 things past that now. And I get frankly tired of telling people the same thing over. I don't want to tell you, hey, yo, you should probably find someone for that position. Hey, Cam, you should probably fill that position. 2 years later, Cam, you haven't filled that position.
Yeah, like,
yet?
what are you doing? Yeah.
I'm done talking.
Yep.
But, not doing the things that you should be doing, and that's going to cause a lot of stress on top of everything else that's going on.
And why do you think people don't do it? Like, what is it that's
Scared, risk, not understanding what they need to do.
and what is it that you did that got you when you got to that point where it's like, I need to do this? How did you follow through and do it? Like, what did you tell yourself?
I asked for help.
Okay.
I ask for help, and I try to find the best people around me, people that maybe have already been there, done that,
Yep.
higher level than me.
Yep.
Ask them, hey, what did you do? Like, have you ever been in this situation before? And they'll tell me. And, sometimes you just need to have a conversation with somebody, and then you figure it out, and you kind of develop your own kind of strategy on how to tackle that situation.
Yes.
You can't just sit there stagnant and not do anything about it. You have to take steps and progress and move forward and ask a lot of questions.
Yep. Mentorship and coaching is everything.
Yeah.
Invest in people who have walked it already. That's a shortcut to life. Like,
Yeah.
there is no better use of money, in my opinion, besides on your health, than buying skills and buying advice from people who have done the things that you want to do. So when you're starting, find someone who has done it already, pay them for their time, pay them for a course, which I did. I bought a course on real estate photography, and it propelled me to being able to get to where I am. Don't be afraid. Now, don't go into debt maybe to do that, but save up some money and then use that money and invest in yourself.
Make calculated decisions.
Make calculated decisions.
Making sure it's the right one.
Yeah.
There's so many free resources out there too nowadays.
That's true. There's a lot of free stuff. Yep. If you could go back in time and give 20-year-old Luke a piece of advice, just life advice, doesn't have to be business, what is something you would want to tell your younger self? You said, what, you're 38 now?
38, yep.
18 years ago, 20-year-old Luke, what would you want to tell him?
I would tell him to not get wrapped up into going out to the bars, experimenting. Well, okay, this is a double-edged sword because I really, truly think that it developed who I am and where I am now. But, experimenting with drugs and getting caught up in that lifestyle and wasting so much money and time and hurting relationships. I would tell him to stay away from that path. But at the same time, I think that path also helped develop who I am today.
Molded you into the person you are. Yeah. Your 20s is, it's a hard decade, man. I mean, I'm 29. I'm about to leave my 20s, and there are so many things that you learn as you grow through your 20s, that if you knew at the beginning would probably have eased some pain a little bit. You talk about it, that stuff molding you into the person you are, but at the same time, there's things that you can avoid. There's minefields that you can avoid by going back to listening to people who are older and wiser and just taking their advice. Now, at the same time, I think there's something to be said for, you kind of have to make the mistakes in life.
Oh yeah, you do.
People can tell you everything. Like, you can talk to a 90-year-old and ask them what's the key to living a great life, and they'll tell you it's not about material things. It's about spending more time with family, like all that stuff. But you really have to almost make the mistakes to learn it for yourself, I think.
I guess going back to your question earlier about what would you tell an entrepreneur, someone to be an aspiring entrepreneur, I would say also to fail faster, make the mistakes, because those are where you grow. the learning points. People call them failures. I call them learning points. Yeah. Fail
Learning
faster.
points. I like that.
Because that's where you learn.
Yeah.
You know, either well, if you do it over and over and over again, that's insanity, right?
Doing the same thing over. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you got to learn from it and move on and make those adjustments. That didn't work. So what am I going to do now? And I think that's another thing I love about business is being able to problem solve and figure out ways around situations. If someone tells you no, figuring out a way to turn that around to a yes, or figure out another situation around it to be successful and win ultimately.
That's it right there. And the beautiful part about business is you get so many opportunities to do that. Like there's endless amount of leads out there. Like you can mess up thousands of sales calls and still, all right, on to the next one. What did I do wrong?
And this goes back into, what would you tell a young entrepreneur is not every customer is your customer.
That's huge.
Don't take every job.
That's huge.
In the beginning stages, you're going to take some.
You take what you get in the beginning.
Take what you get. But then you have to realize, like, this customer's not going to be worth it because there's a lot of customers out there that are worth it and that are going to be great supporters of your company. And it's just, man, life is so much better when you get those customers that you're working with that actually appreciate you.
We're realizing that. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard from, I don't know who it was, but the difference between like a $50 client and a $5,000 client, the $50 client says, so what exactly am I getting with this service and how soon is it going to be done and all this? And then the $5,000 client is like, take my money, like solve my problem. And I trust
100%.
you. That's it.
We have, our demographic has evolved over the last just 2 years alone. We are taking care of some very large name families, like the Galisanos, the Sands, and it just, you know, there's like the Jacobs family out in Buffalo. They own the Boston Bruins. So like we're getting into these neighborhoods and these homes that I wasn't doing 3, 4, or 5 years ago. We raised our prices, and this is where our demographic is going. It's crazy, right?
That's what we're doing.
Raise your prices,
the same thing,
and
man.
you get. Not saying that the lower end ticket jobs, all the customers are. I'm not saying that they're bad, at all, but you're going to see more of the nitpickers down there. The ones that are going to be watching how many hours you were on the job.
Yep.
Oh, I paid $400, and you guys were here for an hour. You didn't pay for an hourly service. I'm sorry, but
It's human nature. That's just how.
Yeah.
That's how the world works, and I think that's the evolution of business too. Like everyone starts, not everyone, but most people start on those lower end clientele. They get their reps in, they work with a lot of people, and then I think the goal is to eventually move up the ladder to more premium, higher end clients, making more money, doing less work, and being premium.
Yeah, and also our team would rather work for not every customer as well. Like our technicians going on these projects, you know, they're going to these $500,000 cul-de-sac homes up to $1 million homes, and it's a nicer environment for them to work in.
Better experience, yeah.
It's a better experience, and when you price higher, you're able to provide more for your team in the company, and better trucks, better equipment, benefits, company parties. I mean, you name it, we can give it back to the company, and grow and have a nice facility, nice amenities. So that's why I always say, like, raise your prices, because you can take care of your customers better when you raise your prices.
Yep.
I was there. I was the one-man band, and I wasn't charging enough back in the day. And what happened is I would do a customer's house, and if there was a problem, I couldn't get right back to them immediately like we do now. It was weeks out until I could get back to them. Whether my equipment broke down or, you know, like little things, I was just so booked up because
You're one man.
I'm a one-man band. So everything's just tighter when you don't charge enough.
Raise your prices. It's scary, but
Yeah.
Then you do it,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, it's done. What do you do for fun outside of
Oh
work
God.
besides bench 400 pounds?
I don't. I don't do anything, Cam. I work. I focus on like my family and my team at the businesses, and my time. What I do for fun is in the morning, my cold plunge and my working out.
You're my kind of guy,
That's
dude.
what I do.
Yep.
And if you were to ask me like what I would do if I did have a little bit more resources like land, my dream is to build a motocross track behind my house someday.
Yo.
Yeah. And have a nice barn out back to where I can fill it with toys. And part of that barn can be like a gymnastics area for my daughter. Me and my son can grab some toys and just go out the back door and just ride.
Dude.
That's my dream.
Are you guys going to stay in Rochester?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you going to build?
Probably just like in the
West side or east side?
Farmington, Canandaigua area.
Okay.
Eventually.
My wife and I want to build too eventually, and we just don't know where yet.
Yeah.
But I heard it's a process.
It is. I mean, everything's a process nowadays.
What are your goals for the future with everything? Actually, here's a question I wanted to ask. Let's talk about the roofing company real quick.
Yeah. Real quick with that.
Why? So, and here's what I mean by why.
All right,
Why
yeah.
not double down on AllClean? And now you got two different brands, two different businesses to build. What's your mindset?
Well, I'll try to make the story as like short as possible. The roofing company started out as a partnership. So I really had this opportunity come my way. And for like a year, I was thinking about getting into another vertical anyways. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be like HVAC or plumbing or roofing, right? And then this opportunity came my way. I took it, ran with it. And then we just decided we weren't the right partners for each other. So I bought the company for $1. And now we rebranded to Voyage Roofing. So really, that's ultimately how it started. And like I said, I wanted to get into another vertical anyways, higher ticket, lower volume jobs. The pressure washing industry, again, I'm going to go back to what you asked earlier was what would you tell yourself earlier on in business, right? I would have said to get into something more along the lines of roofing, HVAC, higher ticket projects. I would have gotten into something like that, those types of trades earlier on versus pressure washing.
Okay.
Pressure washing, it's a high volume business. We're getting there where we're creating better margins for ourselves, but there's so much overhead between the shop costs, utilities, insurance on all the trucks, workman's comp on all of our guys. We're paying roofers workman comp rates for our guys. Workers' comp last year alone was over 6 figures. Just workers' comp. So when you have all W-2 employees and then you got the trucks maintenance, the equipment maintenance, the materials, the overhead just chews up a lot of the margin. So when you run a roofing company like we do, all the numbers are pretty much, they're planned out before you even do the job. You already know what your costs are to do the project. We run a subcontracting model, so we know what we're paying the subs. We know what we're paying out in commission. We know what the material costs are going to be, so you already know like what your gross margin is going to land by the time the job is finished.
Yep.
For the most part, there's little things that happen along the way. So it's an easier business to, I guess, scale and calculate in that manner. But what we're seeing right now is the beginning stages of all. Nobody knows who we are yet. So we're branding, advertising, building a reputation, a company that people trust. So it's been a little challenging going back to that stage, right? Where AllClean now is the reputation's there. People want us. They don't even get other quotes. I already see you guys. You've done work for my neighbors. Just get the job done.
And so why not bring roofing underneath the AllClean brand?
So when I first was going out on estimates for roofing, I was seeing some AllClean customers,
Yeah.
and I was meeting with them. Although they trusted us at AllClean and they liked our work, I'm a new roofing company in their minds.
Okay.
And, and as much as you try to explain to people, like, listen, I'm new to roofing. I'm new to selling roofing. The people we have working for us, the guys, the crews, they've been doing roofing for 15, 20 years. They're amazing. Their work is great. They're insured. We're insured. I promise you, Nancy, we're going to take care of you. You're going to have a beautiful roof on your house. It's going to be the best materials. They still will do their due diligence, get online, go to Google, and find the roofing company that's been in business for 20 years with 500 reviews already.
Got it. So it's worth building another brand for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to the goals here, are you eventually going to exit AllClean? Do you plan on selling? Do you plan on going all in on the roofing? What is it you want to do?
I had plans a year ago to exit out of AllClean at some point, but I now since have had the opposite mindset. I do not want to exit AllClean. The business is doing phenomenal right now. We have an amazing team in place. I'm having a lot of fun this year so far versus 2022, 2023, and going into 2024. I wasn't having a lot of fun those years. It was painful going through a lot of different people, finding the right people for the right seats on the team.
Yes.
We're getting there now, and it's been a breath of fresh air this season. I'm getting back out there more. I'm watching the numbers more. We're nurturing the leads that are coming in, and everything's going in the right direction. We're actually smoking our targets every month that we have out
Love
now,
it.
and we're up 150%
Let's go.
year to date from last season. So it's in a great direction. We're going to should be hitting at least a minimum of 3.1 million this season. It's you got to do a lot of work to hit 3.1. I mean, we're going to be servicing probably 2,500 customers in a 9-month period.
It's a lot of volume, to your point.
So, right now, today, we'll run anywhere from 20 to 30 jobs a day. It's wild. It's very fast paced.
Yep. When you talk about wanting to keep it now, you're still active CEO, correct? Do you want to hire a CEO and scale yourself all the way out of the business, or?
No. I really enjoy where I'm at right now. Still being very involved. I will never be a absent owner. I love being there, showing up, slapping hands, fist bumping.
Yes. Yep.
I even throw out some hugs. I'm the guy that and this is, I believe, goes back to a lot of the success of the business. I've been told that I bring this energy to people, and I truly pride myself on that. I want to be the one that brings the energy and that gets people excited, because it excites me,
Yep.
I don't know. I don't plan on ever replacing myself out of the CEO role. I do have a couple people right now, like Steve and Jake, who I do want to see just keep evolving with the company and taking on more and more and more, like COO and
bigger leadership positions.
Leadership positions, especially when we start building our, we already service Buffalo, but when we start getting a shop out there and we start having sales and technicians operating out of that location, there's gonna be much more opportunity
100%.
for higher level roles.
We're doing the same thing. We're really starting to get traction in Buffalo now with the videos we're putting out, and it's basically doubling our business very quickly because it's all been Rochester, and Buffalo is a bigger market now, and we're getting excited about that too.
I'll connect you with a guy I just met.
All right.
He owns a lot of apartment complexes out there, and you never know if he needs media, right?
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Let's end with this. Any favorite book? I know I just heard you say The Right People in the Right Seats. Do you read Traction, the book Traction?
I've read parts of it.
Okay, that's a really great read.
Yeah, I've read parts of it. We haven't, implemented the whole Traction system into our company.
Yeah.
A couple books that I really enjoyed reading, and I'm not a huge book reader by any means. Tom Golisano's book, Built Not Born, was a great one.
Nice.
Tommy Mello has a couple great books. The Home Service Millionaire, and then Elevate. His book Elevate is a lot about culture and building the right team. Tommy Mello, if you don't know who Tommy Mello is, I'm going to give him a massive shout out. You need to follow the guy. He's going to be the first guy in the home service trades to be a billionaire.
No,
he's a garage door. He started with garage doors, A1 garage door service. Me and my wife were ever so lucky to run into him and his fiance about in 2022, just at a power washing convention. He was speaking there, and we just started building a relationship with each other. And the guy, ever since meeting him, he has opened up my mindset, and I dream bigger, I think bigger. Ever since meeting and listening to him, so
dude, can we get him on the show? Can you connect me with him?
I'll see, man. I'll throw it out there. But yeah, he'd be virtual. So he's out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd fly to him, seriously.
Yeah.
Because this show, and I was telling you a little bit about it, I'm so passionate about local service-based businesses that are low startup cost, easy for people to start. Like, that is what I'm trying to teach with this show at the core of it. And him being so successful in like a home service industry, I would love to interview him at some point. So if you could connect, that'd be.
Yes, I will. I will throw it out there to him. He's a very, very busy guy.
Oh, I'm sure.
He does a lot of these like all over the country.
Yep.
But he is so giving and wants to provide so much value for guys like you and me.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people look at him and they don't truly know him, probably think that he's arrogant and cocky and this and that. And he's a 9-figure entrepreneur now. He is the most freaking genuine guy you'd ever meet. He will do anything to take care of you and help you out. And I'll just leave it at that.
Those are the best kind of people,
Yeah,
seriously.
100%.
And I find the most successful people are those kind of people.
Yeah. And I've met a couple other people like him that are 9-figure entrepreneurs, and it's like, you know, they have little things about them that you're like, I don't know.
Turn you off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not. They're not really like who I really want to surround myself with.
Yeah.
But that Tommy Mello, 100%, dude.
I'm gonna check him out after this.
You got it.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
I pretty much asked everything I want to ask you, man. Is there anything you want to leave our audience with before we wrap up here? This has been extremely valuable, so thank you for.
I love it. And I appreciate
laying it all out there.
Yeah, I really like the opportunities. I truly appreciate you bringing me on, man. Because like a couple years ago, I couldn't have done this. I was super nervous. So I will leave it on this: getting yourself out of your comfort zone is a must.
Yep.
When you're in business, the more you can put yourself into uncomfortable situations, the better. Because like I said, a couple years ago, I couldn't sit here and talk to you like this. I would be like so nervous. I'd be sweating before I walked in here. So with practice and putting yourself into these positions and networking and speaking, like you build this confidence that you never knew you had.
It just becomes second nature. It's been the same for me too, dude. Like from episode 1, I was so nervous to like get in here and do this. And now we're on you're 52.
Nice.
You get momentum and you start to get good at it and confidence builds, and couldn't agree with you more. Like get out of your comfort zone, push yourself to do it. Like get on stage if you can. I just spoke in front of 200 real estate media company owners and in Vegas, and I was pretty nervous before, and then I got up there and I'm like, let's do this, man.
Yeah. You don't have a choice then.
You don't have a choice. You're up there and you just, I always say 51% excited, 49% nervous. That's the ratio you got to stay at. All right.
Yeah.
But I love that, man. Plug your business, everything you're doing.
AllClean Power Wash. You can find us on Facebook, AllClean Power Wash, LLC, and allcleanny.com. You know, Voyage Roofing, same thing, voyageroofing.com.
Yep.
Voyage Roofing Facebook page. But yeah, check us out on AllClean. We got all kinds of amazing content on there. We keep it fun, we keep it fresh, and
love that, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate you too, and I'm looking forward to continuing to build this relationship because
me too.
We'll get a workout in at some point together. Maybe do a cold plunge What's your record in the cold plunge, by the way?
I only do 3 minutes every
3?
morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep it at like 45, 3 minutes.
Dude, I
just
had
enough
I had Anthony Valerio on the show.
Yeah.
Dude does like 10 minutes in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
Fucking animal.
Yeah, that guy's Anthony's an awesome dude.
Yeah,
I've known him for a little
talk
while
about
now.
genuine guys, like
100%.
Yep.
Yep. He's one of the guys that I love being around just because there's no bullshit. Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys, I hope you found this episode valuable. Go check out Luke if you need your house cleaned, if you need a new roof. He's the guy to go to. And that's all I got. We'll catch you in the next episode. Take care. Peace.